Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome to mini readings with me, Gobind. Just kidding. How are you guys doing? Thanks for waiting for me. I know I'm running a little bit late, 13 minutes late, but I've been getting ready for you guys. I was putting on makeup. No, but seriously, I took some notes. I took some notes to share with you guys tonight because we got some really cool stuff to talk about. Hello, everyone. I know you guys have been in the chat for a minute. Let's see who's in here. Wendy, hello. Paris, hello. Kim, hello. Shannon, hello. Patty. Who else is in here? Hello, Chanel. Hello, Abby. Hello, Jess. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. So what we're going to talk about today is the Venus Moon conjunction that happened yesterday. We're also going to talk about Comet Neowise, which is like a really powerful, significant. I think everybody's on fire. Like I saw your comment earlier. You think I'm going to be on fire. I think everybody's on fire right now. I think we don't realize what's happening, but we're going to know right now. We're also going to talk about the Mayan calendar and basically how all of this relates to like the new moon that's coming. Oh my God, there's just so much. But we're going to talk about all of that, and we're also going to do mini readings. So the list is open. If you want to get on the list, send $25 to my PayPal. The link is in the description of the video. And did you guys know my podcast is officially out? It's not on iTunes yet, but it's on Anchor. So if you want to listen to the podcast, it's called the Channel for Grace Uncut Podcast. And I've already uploaded the first episode, which is called What Does It Mean to Face Your Fears? And I talk about this, experience that I had facing my fears the other day and how, I face my fears. And hey, Don, how my sort of experience to show you basically one way of facing fears, or at least how I think sometimes it needs to happen. Right now, this is the perfect timing to be talking about this stuff because of all of these things that are happening. Everything's like piling on. Everything's like on top of each other, just piling up. And so you can listen to that episode on anchor.fm or you can download the Anchor app onto your phone. It's a podcasting service. And then soon it will be available on iTunes. And once it's available on iTunes, I'm going to obviously let you guys know. I'm hoping it'll be available on iTunes by Monday, so I can announce it for the new moon. That was my initial idea. But I'm not surprised that like I've been receiving a lot of inspiration lately, right now during this very powerful time. So I'm so excited about that. Go check it out if you want to. Episode 1 is on. Hello, Kayana. Hello. Okay. So what else is happening? We've got the Moon Goddess training starting on Sunday. And I don't know how I do it. Somehow intuitive, I pick a day and I look at, the astrology. I'm like, of course, we start the Moon Goddess training always on a new moon. And the new moon is on Monday, by the way. We're going to have our new moon ceremony. I always pick, the new moon to start the Moon Goddess training because we go together through a moon cycle, like the 28 and a half days. And how did I intuitively know that this week was the most powerful week that we've seen astrologically in a while? It's hard to say that because there's so much potent astrology right now, but this week I think has a little bit of extra. It's extra, okay? Somehow the Moon Goddess training is starting as all of these powerful, like it's these sacred feminine portals opening up. So please, if you like, this is activation time. Like we are going to literally all the women signed up for it are going to walk through this portal together for the next 4 weeks. 4 weeks long program. And we're going to meet on Sundays at 1 p.m. and take that deep dive into women's empowerment, the sacred feminine, your intuition, even your moon astrology. I'm going to look at that as well. So please check it out. It is on my website. There's also a link in the description of this video to all of the programs, but that one, and it's coming up real soon. Sunday we start. Boom. And we also have, next week, we have Module 3 of Aquarian Astrology. And Module 3 is going to be all about the moon. How is all this coming together, like perfectly aligned? I started Aquarian Astrology like 3 months ago. I literally started it 3 months. I did not know that we were going to be doing Module 3 during this epic portal. And that it was going to be with the moon. And that there was going to be a Venus-Moon conjunction that ties into the Venus-Sun conjunction that happened on June 3rd. I don't know. It just happens. Like, this is what I mean. This is when you know you're on it and your intuition is strong, is when things like this happen to you. And they happen to me all the time. So, okay, let's get into the content. I know there's a couple of you guys that just got on the list. So I will check PayPal in a moment, but just go ahead and keep getting on the list, and I'll update my little paper with your name on it in a moment. But first, I want to talk about this comet. So I did my research because someone asked, I think maybe it was it on Instagram? I don't know. Somebody put a comment somewhere. I think it was Instagram, and they were like, oh no, it was in the Aquarian Astrology Facebook group. So in our private astrology group, which you can get into if you take any of the modules for Aquarian Astrology Level 1 course. But somebody asked about the comet. What's up with this comet? What's the significance of this comet? And I know very basic information about comets. They're significant. They represent, like, they mark moments in time that are somehow initiations, or it's like a message from God, a message from the divine. And I know that kind of basic stuff about comets. They're significant because you don't see them often. They don't come around very often. And you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's weird that, like, the comets usually get they don't hit us because Jupiter derails them in some kind of weird way, in terms of gravity. But basically, comets have been seen in the sky for years and years and years, for ages. And apparently, these comets have been written about. Hi there. So we have, there's ancient books about comets that have passed, that have been seen in the past. And then you can go back and say, well, what was happening on Earth when that comet was passing? Or what were some of the things that were, yeah, right, Sparky? What were some of the things that, like, what are some of the changes that we saw after a certain comet passed? And believe it or not, the significance of comets, it depends on their color. It depends on their tail, right? Because comets have a tail. For example, comets can be red. They can be sort of like grayish or kind of like darkish color. They can be white, which is the case of the Comet Neowise. Don't you think it's funny? It's called Neowise. The first thing I think of is the Matrix. Neo from the Matrix. I mean, he's like the Messiah, right? He's like the one. He's the one. How are these? This is so crazy. And then wise, right? Neowise. It's like the wisdom that comes from, the message that's coming through is like the one. I don't know. I don't. It's crazy. Anyways, we didn't know that this comet existed until, I think, March, when they started to see it coming into view, right? Like NASA and all the astronomers. And apparently they do math calculations, right? Of like, okay, well, how often does this comet come around? Because that's what they do. They like keep floating around the solar system. And apparently this comet has not been seen on Earth since 6,800 years ago. It's been, and they know this because of the mathematical calculations, not because they have like proof that someone on Earth saw it, but because they know that it would have been seen on the planet at this time, 6,800 years ago. We talk about the cataclysm that happened 12,000 years ago. And then when you think of 7,000 years ago, that was like a lot of like the beginnings of like some pretty interesting changes on Earth. You can just know that, right? And apparently this comet is going to be, we're going to be able to see it in the sky. It started on July 14th, and you're going to be able to see it in like the northern hemisphere in the sky at night as right 20 minutes at sun for 20 minutes. It's like a 20-minute window where you can see it. Like right as as the sky gets dark, that's where you could see it. And it'll be visible for 20 days. It's like a 20-day portal that's basically opening up with this comet. So what's the significance of the color? So depending on the color of the comet, that's like the message that it brings. And also depending on where it's traveling in the sky, which constellation and which like stars it's traveling through or across, that gives you the meaning of the comet for our time right now. So here's the significance of this comet. It's really amazing. First of all, it's a really bright white color. What is bright white connected to? Bright white is connected to the crown chakra. It is known as the 1,000-petal lotus. It is the connection between us and the divine. It's like the highest vibrational frequency of the chakras in our body, that it's the least dense. So the densest chakra is the root, and the color of the root is like a reddish. It's a red color, and so it goes. I mean, it's the rainbow, right? The chakras are the rainbow, so it goes up. It goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and then there's white, and sometimes it's referred to violet, white or violet. But it's this like epic connection with the divine, with the mystical, with the spiritual, with the universe. It is the chakra that basically, once that chakra is open, that's where you get your downloads. That's how you receive the wisdom from the universe. And this comet has this bright white color to it. And what else does that mean? That means that it's a very auspicious message. It's a very auspicious omen for us on Earth to see this specific comet in this specific color. It means prosperity. It means good things are coming. Now, the other thing to look at is you look at the tail. And depending on what the tail looks like, there's another message, another bright omen. Now, sometimes comets have tails that are like they're fractioned, like they're kind of, it feels like they're split or they're broken into little pieces. It's not pretty. It doesn't feel potent. It feels like, oh, it's broken up, like it's breaking apart. But this comet has a very solid tail. And the solidity of the tail gives it more power. Gives it more power, gives it more strength, gives it more of a good omen energy. It's a very strong, bright, white energy coming, passing, right? Opening this portal. And when you look at where it's in the sky, where it's kind of transiting in the sky, it's actually transiting through the constellation of Gemini and a couple of other constellations too. And so depending on what astrology you use, if you use sidereal astrology, you would look at basically everything that is happening in the house that has Gemini on the cusp. But in tropical astrology, which is the astrology that I do, we look at everything that is happening in the house cusp that has Cancer at the cusp. So in tropical astrology, it would translate as Cancer, but in sidereal astrology, it would be Gemini. But either way, the energy of Gemini is super strong right now. We've got the North Node in Gemini. We've got Venus in Gemini. We just had, I think the moon might still be in Gemini. I'm not sure, but it was just in Gemini yesterday, so it's very possible that it's still in Gemini right now. We had that Venus-Moon conjunction, the portal that opened up, right, Wendy? That opened up yesterday. They were both in Gemini. I mean, this Gemini theme is like really, really strong. So what is Gemini, right? Gemini is about humanity. Gemini is about like the intellectual understanding. Gemini is it's the light. It's a better understanding of people, of what's happening, higher understanding. All of it, putting all these pieces together, you get like the revelation of the whole message. There's these other three constellations that it was seen traveling through, and it was first discovered when it was traveling through the constellation of, it's got a really weird name, Arusa or something like that. Don't worry about that. Just know that the constellation makes the image of a shepherd with two little baby goats and a protection, sort of like a lasso in his hand. And the symbolism of this is, it's about protection. It's about protection of like the children, so to say, because when you think of a shepherd like takes care of the herd, right? A shepherd has this essence of like a mothering energy towards the little goats or the sheep or whatever, right? Whatever it's a shepherd of, most likely sheep, not goats. But anyways, that's when it was first discovered. It was passing through that constellation. So there's something about the comet that is like revealing to us the message of there's protection. There's like, especially for the children. And we know there's a lot of things coming up in terms of children right now, like in the news. And I got, I got this sort of, I got chills down my spine when I was looking at all of this, because there's a lot of, there is like negative forces out there that try to, stay in control. And the way that they do it is by taking advantage of like innocent beings. And right now, somehow all of that is like in this weird way kind of coming to light, which is really interesting. I just wanted to mention that. Don't really want to like bring that kind of heavy energy into this, but I just want to say like there's something to say about the fact that this shepherd is taking care of the sheep, right? Something about protecting us, protection in general, protecting the children, and also the child within. Exactly, Wendy. And then it moved through this constellation called I don't know the name of it, but it's basically a lynx. It's a cat, and it's like these two little stars, and it's a more modern constellation, but you can't. It's very far away. These two stars are very far away, and the reason it was named after the name, it's the word lynx in a different language. I don't know which language, but it was named after the lynx because the lynx is like a cat figure, and the cat can see in the night. So it's like seeing into the darkness. It's like seeing the secrets, like the secrets being revealed. It's having X-ray vision. So secrets being revealed. That's another message that the comet is bringing. And then the third constellation that it's moving through, now you can see it in the sky. It's like it's the Big Dipper, but it's also Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, which I think they're the same thing. But basically Ursa Major the big bear. It's like the big mama bear in the sky. And Ursa Minor, basically it's like the tail of the big bear is three little bears, three little baby bears. So it's like this mama bear energy. Like, so wherever you see the bear, the symbol of the bear in the world, so we see it on the California flag. We see it, I think the bear is also the symbol of Russia. Where else do we see the bear? In flags and stuff, or in like countries and symbols. Anyways, there's again this like intense like motherly energy coming to protect. And also the bear is the animal that represents waking up from slumber. It is the animal of the spring, because the bear hibernates during the winter, but then in the spring it wakes up from its slumber and it goes out, and it's about transformation, and it's about a renewal, and it's about a rebirth. That's what the bear represents. So all of these are things that this comet is kind of bringing to light for us. And like I said, ancient astrologers wrote about comets. And something interesting, if you think about, when you look at your own chart, we're going to do this at the end of this conversation, but I'm going to go through and tell you where the comet is transiting in your chart, and what kind of prosperity that's going to bring into your life. But basically, when you look at the chart of the USA is the one country in all the world where it's getting hit really strongly by this comet, because USA has its sun in Cancer, it's got Jupiter in Cancer, it's got Venus in Cancer, and it's got Mercury in Cancer. And in sidereal astrology, those planets are actually all in Gemini. So basically, when it comes to, remember, sidereal astrology is it actually connects to the actual locations of the constellations, and tropical astrology focuses on the seasons. And so you translate sidereal into Western by, I think it's going, sidereal is, hang on, let me think. It's like 20 degrees off or something like that. Anyways, because all the planets are all together in Cancer in tropical and in Gemini in sidereal, the comet is basically aspecting USA's Sun, Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury. And the Sun is like the country's soul. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Venus is the planet of love, and Mercury is the planet of communication. And in Gemini, all of that energy is expanded. And now we have the North Node in Gemini too. So all of this is just, there's just like activation after activation after activation. So the USA is going to feel this heavily, but it's a good thing. It's a positive thing, right? Because the planet is that bright white color and it's got a really strong tail. There's another thing that's happening right now, and it's in regards to the Mayan calendar. So the Mayan calendar has these cycles where there's certain days they're color coded. If you look at a Mayan calendar sort of on a computer program, there's certain days that are green, they're colored green, and they're called gap days. And I wanted to actually read to you something about gap days. So I'm just gonna, I had a little thing. I was looking at this website. But basically, on the days that are gap days in the Mayan calendar, universal energy is very high. People react differently to the energies that are coming, but it's really intense and heavy energy, right? It's all matching up. Each gap day is very different, and so you might find yourself reacting to them differently while you're moving through them, throughout like the year. You might find yourself extremely exhausted, highly emotional, or easily triggered. It can come seemingly out of nowhere, and you might be questioning yourself why you're reacting the way you're reacting, and because it's a gap day. And I mean, just reading this, I'm like, oh my God, this explains to me the last few days. I've been feeling real like highs and real lows, weird energies coming up. And while sometimes confronting and challenging, there's really great insights that can be gained on and from those days. So these are the types of days where stuff comes up that wants to be released and let go of, and it doesn't always look pretty, but it's very, very worth it. Well, how to get through them the best way is to stay aware and stay present, to practice compassion and kindness, and to take rest, like self-care, take care of yourself, and focus on yourself too. And the craziest thing about it is that right now, from July 13th through July 22nd, there is actually a 10-day portal. It's 10 green days in a row, 10 gap days in a row. So that's like, heavy. Like, we're going to experience that really, really intensely. So that's another thing to add on to everything that's happening right now. And then also, it's all basically leading up to this new moon that we're having on Monday. So it's just wild. And then the last thing we talk about is the Venus and the moon portal that happened. It happened just the other day at 13 degrees. 13 degrees of Gemini. So let me actually see if I can share this chart with you, because it'll be fun to at least show you one visual. And thank you for your patience, everyone. Look, there's 33 people in the chat. And we'll get to the readings soon, I promise. I'm going to show you this chart, and then we'll get to the readings. And the list is open, so you can jump on in. Okay. So okay, let's switch screens. All right. So here is the chart for yesterday when the sun, when Venus and the moon conjuncted at 13 degrees. You see that right there? Well, here's the crazy thing. Venus, and look, and the north node is right there too. Venus and the sun also conjuncted in Gemini at 13 degrees on June 3rd. Speaking of all these threes, 3rd, 13, 13. I mean, there's a lot of threes over here. Three is a master number. Hey, Ellie. So on June 3rd, it also conjuncted at 13 degrees. I mean, this is wild. And that conjunction was the inferior conjunction of Venus with the sun. It happens every 8 years. That was like the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And that was basically the symbolism of when Venus conjuncted with the sun. We were going through this intense dark night of the soul. We were going through the underworld. I did a lot of videos, so you can kind of go back and check those out. But there was just a lot going on in terms of relationships and having to figure out, you know, which relationships are serving us, which are not. A lot of self-discovery, a lot of things coming up. But it was basically, when you think about the sun and the moon, that was back then, June 3rd, Venus was with the sun. But Venus is also a really beautiful energy. Venus is a benefic planet. She brings the angels around. She brings protection around. She's the goddess of love. She brings beauty, protection, and also like it's money. She brings money. So basically we have Venus and the sun on June 3rd, and now Venus and the moon on June 16th, both times at exactly 13 degrees of Gemini. What does that even mean? Like, there's just too many synchronicities. When she was with the sun, that was like the masculine activation. That was, you know, when she's with the moon, this is the feminine activation. With the sun, it was like the light of the sun. With the moon, it's about the dark. The sun is all that yang energy. It's the Leo, right? And the moon is the yin energy. It's the Cancer energy, because the moon rules Cancer. With the sun, it's about the soul, and with the moon, it's about the emotions. When she was with the sun, it was about this, you know, the sun is a fixed fire sign, rules a fixed fire sign of Leo. So that is like the lion, the activation of your strength. Leo is the strength card. And then with the moon, it's cardinal water, so it's initiation through your emotions. It's you basically act on your emotions. You figure your emotions out, and your emotions are your guiding system. That's what the moon really represents. And, you know, the sun, let me switch back. That's a cool picture. The sun is basically, you know, the light, and the moon is the reflection of that light. The moon shines a light into the darkness. That is our inner world. The sun is the outer world, the moon is the inner world. The sun is the king, the moon is the queen. You know, the sun is that like intense God energy, and the moon is the goddess energy. And when you see these two planets coming together, Venus, the goddess of love, with the moon goddess, you have a benefic planet and a luminary, and they shine this beautiful light. They reflect our beauty back to us. And that's why I say it was a portal of love. And I played that song Portal of Love yesterday on Instagram, which if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But it's this beautiful energy that comes together and reflects back to us our own beauty. It's like goddess Isis energy. And when you think of Venus, Venus was the goddess that was born of the ocean. And she was born from the masculine. She was literally born from the severed... God, I don't even want to say it. The severed of a man. Okay? But it was a god. I think it was Uranus. Uranus? Or Chrono. I don't remember. Anyways, she was born out of the severed you-know-what of a man. And then, and when that fell into the ocean, she basically was born from that. So from like the light of the sun comes, from that yang energy, the masculine comes this like is Wendy Junk comes this like the, you know, this god. That's the story of Venus. I'm not, you know, let's not go into that whole thing about how women come from men. No, let's not go into that. I was just saying that's the story. But the main thing to know about this Venus story is that she was born from the ocean, right? She comes out of the ocean. Literally, she walks out of the ocean. And the ocean is all of the moon. It's all about the moon. The moon literally controls the tides of the ocean. And so this is a sacred divine feminine activation in the sign of Gemini, which is about the people, which is about communication. This is about understanding, intellectualism, and it's all leading up to this new moon, not just new moon, but double new moon in Cancer on Monday, which is ruled by the moon. So, I mean, this is intense, right? If, let's go through the signs real quick. So this is going to bring prosperity. Everything that I just said, you're going to feel this, in this area of your chart. For Aries, it's going to be in your 4th house of the home. So this is prosperity at home. For Taurus, it's going to be the 3rd house of communication. So like good contracts, things like that, good communication, clear communication. For Gemini, it's going to be the 2nd house. So this is money coming in for Gemini. For Cancer, it's the 1st house. This is like it's an intense spiritual awakening. It's like coming back home to your heart, to your soul. For Leo, this is your 12th house. It's like it's very spiritual for Leos. It's a powerful, like, spiritual awakening. It's a portal that's opening. You might realize that, there's things that you are wanting to give back to the world, or you're wanting to really share your gifts with the world. And this is going to be activated by this comet transiting and all of this stuff, and the new moon and the Venus moon, portal. It's a very spiritual connection. So let those downloads come in. For Virgo, this is going to be in your 11th house, and this is about you. Like, all right, you're finally, it's good connections. It's like good omens of, good relationships with people, with network systems, and also opportunities to share your gifts with the world. And then for Libra, this is, in your career house. This is maybe you're going to have prosperity in terms of your career, or how you show up in the world. For Scorpio, this is in your 9th house. Let me make sure I did Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. And then, Scorpio is the 9th house of spiritual integration. So for Scorpios, a little bit like Leo, for Scorpios, it's good luck. The 9th house is good luck. It's ruled by Jupiter. Good luck and integrating things in a very beautiful way. And then for Sagittarius, this is in your 8th house of change, transformation. I think also receiving things from things outside of you. It's like things coming into your life, and a lot of times it has to do with money. For Capricorn, this is your 7th house of relationships. So this is like, positive relationships. This is good things coming out of your relationships, prosperity in that realm, and also business partners, things like that. Hey, KB. And also, what's next? Aquarius, this is in your 6th house of work. This is also health. So for Aquarius, it's like it's good health. Good health is coming. For Pisces, it's in the 5th house. So this is like romance and creativity and passion, your passion awakening in you. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys about the planets, Venus and the moon, and also the comet Neowise. So if you missed it, make sure you watch that replay. But now we're going to get into the reading. So thank you for your patience, everyone. I appreciate it very much. And we're going to start with Shannon. And I'm going to actually check the PayPal again. And you can pick an astrology reading or an oracle or a tarot reading, and there's a few different types of astrology readings, so make sure that you pick the one that you want. It's either natal or compatibility reading or a transit reading. So next is we got Paris on the list too. And then we got Kim twice. Dude, there's 2 people that are getting 2 readings in a row. That's crazy. You guys, I'm so excited about the Moon Goddess training. Oh my God. After all of this amazingness, I can't even wait. Nice. Oh, cool, KB. That's awesome. Thank you, Kim. Okay, so I have Shannon. Are you in here? I have your information already. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go pull it up. Try to find it amongst all these other crazy messages. So we're gonna do. She wants astrology readings. Natal chart readings for her sons. So let's check it out. We got March 8th, 2001. I'm going to put the times that you gave me. We're going to go with that. Okay. March 8th, 2001 at... Oh, it's PM. That makes a difference. Okay. And then I'm going to pull the other chart so I can just have an image of it. And that's 10-2-02. And 6:20 p.m., right? Yeah. All right. So let me share the screen. And I'm not in the chat, so I'm not seeing the chat right now. So just give me a second. I'm going to, there we go. Now I can go back to the chat. Okay. Let's see what I missed. Hi, Pawan. Okay, got it, Kim. It'll be a little bit different. The first 3 weeks are going, I mean, it's different because I organized it differently to fit 4 weeks, but also the last week is going to be completely new. But the difference is there's going to be different women. So it's, it'll be a lot of the same stuff, but then people sharing what's going on with them right now and us talking about the things that are happening right now, so that it's going to be very different in that sense. But I will be teaching similar things than the last time, with a slightly different flavor. Okay. So let's look at this. So this is Brendan. Brendan's first. He's got the sun. Hang on, let me. There. He's got the sun in Pisces at 18 degrees. And the sun is going to be at 18 degrees pretty much for an entire day. So that doesn't change. So he's that Pisces sun. He has a Virgo moon, and that's not going to change either. Basically, because it's at 11 degrees. So anytime around these hours that you're giving me, he's going to have that. So what he has, actually, this is not difficult to tell. He was born near the full moon. He's a full moon baby. That I can tell you right. That's powerful. The moon would have been coming up in like just like a couple of hours later would have been the actual full moon in Virgo. That's intense. He's got North Node Cancer and South Node Capricorn. Those are always opposing. He's got Jupiter in Gemini. That's really cool. Saturn in Taurus. Those won't change. He was born with Venus retrograde in Aries. That's kind of significant. Look at all this Aquarius energy too down here. Those won't change. Neptune at 7 degrees, Mercury at 21 degrees, and Uranus at 22 degrees of Aquarius. And they're all making and that's Black Moon Lilith, but let's not talk about Black Moon Lilith. They're all making, like, he has an Aquarius stellium in his chart. And okay, this is actually, so he's got Chiron in Sagittarius. So his healing journey is all about discovering his spirituality. He's supposed to Chiron in Sagittarius there's a very powerful connection there because Sagittarius is the archer. And Chiron was also a centaur. Sagittarius is also a centaur, pretty much. So there's a very powerful connection. It's like you embody that energy. He embodies that energy. So he's going to be somebody who needs to heal his relationship with, his spirituality, with the outside world, with his relationship to, he loves exploring. He's an explorer. You can tell by the Mars in Sagittarius too. Mars in Sagittarius is like, he'll have no fear going and pursuing something that he likes. And he'll also desire to explore the world. His drive is to go find the truth. So he might actually be really drawn to like some kind of higher education that activates his curiosity. The crazy thing though is that he was born with Mars conjunct Pluto, and Mars and Pluto are a bit volatile conjunction. Whenever they come together, whenever they square or oppose or things like that, it's always a little volatile because Mars and Pluto actually, they get along, but when they get along, they get deviant in a way. It's like a little bit of like a deviant energy. Like they get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like they do things that get them into trouble. And with Sagittarius, it's like no fear of going out there and exploring the world, while he has an intense connection to like the underworld too, to understanding things that are like he can feel. I think he might be a bit, sensitive. The way that he sort of approaches life is he just says what he wants to say. He'll express it. He'll actually not just, he won't say it necessarily, but he'll show you with his actions what he means. His actions will show you exactly what he believes. That's what that means. Let's delete all of this stuff and look at where's his Mercury. Okay, so there it is. So there's that Aquarius stellium, and Mercury in Aquarius is he might be a little aloof sometimes. He might be a little bit out there in his way of thinking, but I think that's a good thing because that's like a higher mind activation. Mercury in Aquarius, he's got this perspective on life that's very different and very, very unique. And the fact that he's got, Mercury conjunct Uranus in Aquarius, this makes him an innovator. Like, he's going to go out and search for the truth and show you with his actions what he sees. He sees the future. He's very futuristic in his way of seeing the world. That's beautiful. I love that. So that's the first chart. And now we're going to go to the other one, which is Colin's chart. So Colin has Sun in Libra, so very different energy. Oh, what was the other thing? He had a Sun in, was that Pisces? Hold on. Yeah, the Pisces Sun is he's a very very sensitive person too at the same time. Very sensitive. All right, so we got Libra Sun over here. That's not going to change. 9 degrees. He's got Moon in Leo. That's really cool. He also has Jupiter in Leo. Saturn in Gemini. He's got North Node Gemini. So right now he's going through what we call a nodal return. So he's feeling an activation of his life purpose in a way. His healing journey. Let's talk about Chiron. His healing journey is interesting. It's in Capricorn. Chiron in Capricorn. That's about learning how to build yourself up. How to put the work in that you need to be successful in life. Like, that's the lesson that he has to learn. He has to learn to basically make his way up the ladder of success. And obviously you do that by he has to find his ambition. He has to find what he's ambitious about. And he has to work hard to get it. He has to learn how to work hard, how to commit. This is commitment, ambition, determination to get to the top. He also has Pluto conjunct the South Node. So it's almost like, it's crazy because Pluto is the planet of death, transformation, change, the underworld. He's the god of the underworld. He's also like the darkness. He's there's a darkness to Pluto that I think people are kind of afraid of, but it's being able to see through the darkness. And when it's conjunct the South Node and they're both in Sagittarius, when you have a South Node Sagittarius, you were once this, you were once very wise. You had a lot of wisdom. He brings a lot of wisdom into this lifetime. He brings that energy with him. He knows a lot of things. It's like he will often feel like an old soul because he's learned the ways of the world and he's learned about the higher mind and spirituality. But with Pluto there, it's like he brings a heaviness into this life. And you might feel that in the way that he behaves. You might notice that he's not going to be afraid of like hard times. He's not really going to be afraid of things falling apart because he like knows it very well. He knows Pluto very well. He knows that realm. That's what that will do. He's got Venus in Scorpio, which is he can be a little bit jealous. He can be a little bit possessive in relationships. He has a desire to be like, to not always be in the spotlight. He needs to be able to hide sometimes. He needs to be able to have a safe haven to go when he feels like too much of the world is kind of on him. He's an old soul. I always said that he was the youngest. Yeah. And he also has, just like his brother, Neptune and Uranus in Aquarius. So these are like Aquarius babies, right? They're like the babies that will guide us. They're young men, right? That will, or adolescent. They're gonna guide us into the future, literally into the future. Aquarius. And then his way of this is interesting. So where his way of thinking is a Virgo energy, and his way of acting is a Virgo energy. So he's going to be more organized. He's going to want to focus on the details of things. He's going to want to analyze every little thing. There's these two energies, like he's going to think like that, and he's going to want to act like that. Mars and Mercury. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's what I see. Thank you, Shannon. Cool. So next is Paris. Just let me know what kind of reading you want, and if you have a question, just have it ready and just paste it into the chat when it's your name. I'm gonna check PayPal real quick one more time. And so I didn't talk about like the rising sign or anything like that, Shannon, because it's not a guarantee that that's exactly their rising sign. But everything else that I mentioned it's going to be that way pretty much no matter what, around what time of day they were born. Hey, Darcy, thank you for that donation. You're welcome, Shannon. So we got Paris next. She wants oracle reading about her connection. Okay, sounds good. Do you have a specific question you want to ask? Ooh, somebody just signed up for a course. I don't know which one, but that was that notification. Yeah. Congratulations, whoever just signed up. Last night, I think he told me his feelings. I'm not sure. So what's the question that you want? What do you want to know? If you were standing in front of God, what would you want to know? Right as Gaia starts howling. Okay, I want to know where his heart and head are at. Okay. Let's check it out. Yes, Jess, I love it. I'm so excited. Oh my God, welcome. Welcome. Yay. Whoa. All right, hang on a second. This is madness happening over here. Okay, all of these cards came out, so I'm going to keep them, and I'm actually going to pull one more. Gaia. She's howling over there. Gaia Mama. Let's do one more for Does He Love Me? Hi, baby girl. Hi, Mama. Come on in. Come on in. You're not alone, baby girl. Come on in. Sometimes she howls when she like freaks out, so I was like reminding her, I'm right here, baby girl. I'm right here. Hi, Mama. Good girl. Okay. So, whoa, chica. There's some kind of gnarly energy going down. Okay. So, first card you get, Page of Cups. What's the Page of Cups? This is actually a good card. This is how the reading starts. The Page of Cups brings you a message of love. Believe it or not, that's what it means. The next card is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is about being in your power as the sacred feminine. It's about knowing how you feel, because this is you. This is you. There's a confidence that comes from the Queen of Cups. And there's serenity too. You can see it in her face in this image, but she knows how she feels, right? So there the message is you need to figure out how you feel. You need to connect to what it is that you feel. Let me verify this next card. So this is where I start to see maybe what's going on between you guys. The Five of Swords is what comes up. And so the Five of Swords is usually in the traditional tarot, you'll see two figures on the card and they'll be standing apart and they'll look like they're solitary. It's almost like, yeah, you won the battle, but you lost the war or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like it symbolizes defeat or perhaps an empty victory. And the ideas that are associated with this card are this energy of cowardliness, of devastation, maybe a little bit of shame. I think that the energy between you two is either maybe he seems like he's not ready. And the reason why I think that maybe he's not ready, or maybe why you're feeling like a little bit kind of in a defeated kind of energy, is because the next card that's coming up is the shadow work. So either this relationship is asking you to do shadow work, or you're both in your own way doing shadow work. And what is shadow work? Shadow work is all about facing your fears. It's everything that's happening right now with everyone. In general, we're all kind of being asked to face our fears, and that's why I titled the first episode of the podcast, the Channel for Grace Uncut podcast on Anchor. What does it mean to face your fears? So I would actually recommend that you listen to that because it'll give you some insight into what the energies is that I'm feeling here. But basically, it's time right now to focus. You need to focus. You need to put your energy into something that will help you grow. You need to put your energy into something that will bring abundance into your life. It's a skill, like a tradesman. So it's not something that it's something that you're really good at, that you want to learn about. You need to put your focus on that. Because what the next three cards are probably not exactly what you want to hear, but here it is. The Ten of Wands is about there's a new beginning here. You are moving away from something that has been very addictive in the past. You're moving away from something that has felt like you've been burdened with. You actually right now feel like you are carrying all the weight of what's happening. The weight is on you, but the thing is that you're actually choosing to carry that weight. And what's weighing heavy on you is the fact that there's addictions and uncomfortable truths that are playing themselves out in this relationship. So you're carrying a heavy burden. And it could be from your past. It could be like you're carrying it, all of it. It's your stuff and it's the other person's stuff. You're like holding on to it for some reason. But the universe is saying, don't do that. Because right now is not the time to do that. You need to focus on something that you're good at. And you need to walk away. You need to walk away from what is toxic. And the only way to walk away from what is toxic is to really know how you feel, to identify what is toxic, to figure out why it is that you feel the way that you feel right now about this connection. And let's pull, actually, I'm going to pull a goddess card for you since we're talking about Venus and the moon and starting the moon goddess training. Let's pull a goddess card from the fire crotch deck. I'm just kidding. It's an inside joke. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. I just said that. All right. You get Ananda Mayima, the joy permeated mother. I am my own guru. Yes. I know the self that never changes. Look at this image, okay? This is you. This is you. This is so freaking beautiful. This is your mantra. I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. Wow, I love that. That's beautiful. So there you go. Thank you for signing up. Yes, the list is open. Please sign up. We got plenty of space. Next, we have Kim. It's an inside joke. Oh my God. The fire crotch deck. I don't know why when I saw the back of these cards, it said fire crotch. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Hilarious. The cards are actually really beautiful. So what's your question, Kim? And remember, if you get on the list tonight, you actually get entered to win. I'm going to combine the June and the July names, and we're gonna do the at the end of July we'll do the drawing. And usually you win something that I offer. Queen of Wands. Oh my God. Let's simplify and just ask where I am to where I should be. Okay. Sounds good. Let's do it. So where is Kim and where should she be? The velvet hammer. Shannon. Oh my God. Okay, what's Kim's current energies and what are the energies that she should be working on or activating, or where is she moving towards? All right, Four of Swords is the first card that comes up. So right now you're kind of going through a moment of stillness. You're going through a quiet stillness where you are learning about yourself. It's sort of like an internal journey. It's taking the time for yourself, taking care of yourself. So that's where you're at right now. So let's pull two more cards to see where it is that you should be going. All right, Chris. Got it. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. So if you're, make sure you watch, if you just came in, if you missed the beginning of the broadcast, make sure you watch the beginning. I talk a lot about what's happening in the sky right now, these really epic transits, the Comet Neowise, and Venus and the Moon portal, and the Mayan calendar too. Something just fell. Let me grab it. Okie dokie. So, interesting enough, the last card we pulled was the Chariot card. And you're like, where am I going? You're going somewhere for sure. You're definitely going somewhere. Okay, what's happening right now for you? For you. Let's verify. Okay. Here's the energy, like, here's what I feel. Right now, you're going through this internal journey. You're redirecting? Okay. Yes. What you're redirecting is you're actually feeling here the Six of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. So both of these cards, they say, okay, there's something about the past that you're reminiscing, that you're like nostalgic. It's almost like you're thinking back, you're focusing on the past. And what's that's causing you to actually feel like you don't have what you need right now. It's causing you to feel this lack. However, you are, right, the Chariot card, you're moving in a different direction. And I think this moment of the Four of Swords, this moment of stillness and self-care and reflection is helping you to see things a little bit more clearly, to actually see these things that are coming up for you. So what are the things that are revealing themselves to you through this reading? For one, you're entering, there's a new beginning in terms of abundance, prosperity. There's a lot of cool stuff coming into your life. What is your rising sign, Kim? What is your rising sign? If this is prosperity and this is abundance and this is a new beginning in terms of bringing that abundance in or bringing that money in, your rising sign, this is reminding me on the comet. All right, awesome. And so the next things as you're moving into a sense of leadership. I think what's activating in you is you're feeling stronger. You're now at a point where you are kind of ready to move forward because you get the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is a journey. It's a journey. It could be an internal journey. It could be a physical journey. It could be like an actual trip. It could be like a metaphorical journey, but it's a journey away from whatever is giving you difficulty in your life. That's where you're going. And it really has all to do with finding balance in your life, the Justice card. Balance and fairness. Let's pull a Goddess card for you too. I like that. Every time I pull these cards now. I mean, who does that though? That's like a weird image to put in the back of the cards. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. Like, what is that? Oh my God. Okay. So you get Mai Bago. Oh, damn. The Warrior Saint. Oh my God, look at her. She's got like a head covering. Dude, she's legit. She looks like she's Sikh. I am a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. Boom, look at, she's got a sword. That's the reason why I say she's Sikh. The Sikhs don't mess around when it comes to protection. Dude, I love her. I freaking love her. She's not, look, she means business, yo. Look at her face. She's like, I'm gonna slice you. I'm gonna slice you. Dude, that's you. I do. I feel your energy like this right now. You're like ready. You got the 4 of Swords. You got the 6 of Swords. I mean, you got a lot of swords in your reading. So that makes sense. And the swords they are a little bit of protection as well as the mind activation. There you go, Kim. Oh, nice. Congratulations. Okay, now we got Chris. You also want a tarot reading? Similar question? Oh, good. I'm glad, Kim. I'm glad. And we don't have anybody after Chris, so if you guys want to get on the list, get on it now, because if nobody signs up and I finish Chris's reading, I'm going to call it a day. And of course, thank you everyone for being here. Okay, so what's Chris's current energies and where is he moving next? You're welcome, Kim. Are you signed up for the Moon Goddess training, girl? Ooh, two of Swords. You're like right now, Chris, you're like at a crossroads in your life. You're at a crossroads. You're trying to make a decision about where to take your life next, and this decision has everything to do with what do you want for your life, your home. But especially, what do you want for your relationships? Because this has to do with healing your relationships. Let me show you the 2 of Swords, right? At a crossroads, 10 of Cups. You're looking for like your best life ever. Best relationship, best home environment, best people around you. You're looking for it. You're looking for healing. You're trying to decide where to focus your energy next, where to go next, where to explore next. Those are the things that are coming up for you. Yeah, they are popping. Oh, nice, Kim. I sign up for everything. That's awesome. I can't remember if you are signed up or not, but yay. You're trying to figure it out. Like, it's a big decision. Big decision. You also got the 10 of Pentacles. That's a similar energy for sure. 10 of Pentacles is it's building up. It's time of prosperity. I like that. Awesome, Melanie. It's a time of prosperity. It's wealth. It's security. Dude, all these cards are amazing. And then you get the Strength card. Like, everything that you're experiencing right now is like, all of these cards are really positive, good vibes. And you're just trying to decide where it is you want to go next. Like, where do you want to take your life next? And then you get the Magician, which tells you that you have the power within you to work with the elements, to make it happen. The Magician, he creates, he manifests by working with all the elements, which means the mind and the emotions and the physical body and your passion, right? And then you get the Knight of Wands, which again this is the fiery passion that is activating. It is very yellow. It's very yellow. Let's do one more. the Eight of Wands. This is a quick moving energy. So you're moving forward really quickly right now. You're fast approaching your goal, or you are about to find love. And this makes sense because the 10 of Cups that you got at the beginning of the reading is all about love. It is the ultimate, like, soulmates, connection, twin flames, all of that stuff. It's all about that. So I see a lot of positive things here. You are, I think you need to just follow the line that leads to where you feel at your best in all areas of your life. Follow that line. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to check PayPal because I know a few more people signed up. And thank you, by the way, for signing up. So we've got Melanie. Feel free to put up your question, Melanie. And then we got Wendy. And then we've got Jessica. Thank you. He definitely is. He definitely is. I think you might feel like you're not sure what to do next, Chris, but I think that the path is clear. What's your question, Melanie? So if you would like a reading, you can send $25 to my PayPal. The link is in the description of this video. And you can choose from me looking at your natal chart, or a transit reading, or a compatibility reading, or a tarot / oracle reading. Okay, you want me to use the tarot reading? Okay. Let's see. General reading for Melanie. What does Spirit want to tell Melanie right now? What does she need to know right now? You're welcome, Kim. That's funny. Whoa, you're getting a lot of cool cards. There's like, this is crazy. It's like similar cards popping up. Okay, one more card. They're definitely jumping out. That's a good sign. All right. Let's see what we got for you. The first card is the 10 of Wands. So we begin your reading with this card that symbolizes that there's a lot, it's like there's pressure on you. You're taking on the pressures. This card just came up for someone else's reading. You're choosing to burden yourself with things that they're not yours. They're not yours to fix. They're not yours to take on. That's the energy that we start the reading with. The Fool comes out next, and the Fool is this. The Fool can mean two things. The Fool is the Aries card, but it's like the beginning of I was going to say it's the beginning of the zodiac, but it's also the beginning of the tarot. It's the number 0. It doesn't really fit in anywhere. It's like, I think what's going on is that you're feeling this energy of you want to move forward in your life. You want to go explore new things. You want to feel free, but maybe there's a part of you that is still a little bit naive about things, and so that's why you are like taking on all this other stuff that's not really yours to deal with. What you have to do is somehow find what you're passionate about and start moving forward in that direction. And the only way you're going to find what you're, passionate about in your life is if you focus on your emotions. We have the moon here. If you focus on your emotions and how do you really feel about everything? But I don't mean in terms of like surface level stuff. I mean, how do you really feel? Like, have you ever sat down and thought, where's all this stuff coming from? Like, where are all these thoughts coming from? What's the beginning of all of this? Whatever it is that you're feeling emotionally. This is understanding, where you're at, and then choosing to move forward from there, because what's coming, in your future is you also get the 10 of Cups, and this is abundance. This is a beautiful life. The Temperance card, this is healing. This is finding balance in your life. This is about getting curious again about life. It's also about trusting too. And then the 3 of Wands is, finding, partnerships in your life, or working together with people that it feels like a good match. It feels like the right energy to be connecting with right now. The thing that you have to figure out is, where is the grief coming from? Because the 5 of Cups is about grief. And that's what you're experiencing right now. I think this grief card being at the end of the reading and the 10 of Wands being at the beginning, that's heavy energy at the end extremes of all this kind of nice stuff. It's like, not nice, but like exploring your emotions and finding what you really love and what you really like. That all takes difficult work, because it's like an internal process, but you got to unburden yourself, and you have to let yourself feel the grief of whatever is causing you grief in your life. And the only thing you can do with grief is just feel it, and know that moments of grief in your life they're like cocoons. They're cocoons for something beautiful that's about to emerge. And you're about to emerge, with a different energy once you move through this process of grieving. But there's something that's like holding you back, that you haven't quite been able to put your finger on it. Let's pull a goddess card for you. You get Yeshe Tsogyal. Yeshel Tsogyal. She looks like a badass. She's the lady of the lotus born. This is the mantra. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. Ooh, I love that. Get into your body. Yes, that's exactly what this, if I was going to give you a feeling of what this reading feels like, it's get in your body. Feel what's happening. Become aware of it. My body was made for enlightenment. That's the affirmation for you. But that's your card. Embodiment. Yep, there you go. Confirmation from the universe. Feel it in your body. Come back to your body. All right, we got Wendy next. Cool. Okay, Wendy. You're welcome, Melanie. There's room for 2 more people on the list if somebody's interested. All right, let's take a look at this. So Venus is still at 13 degrees. The moon already moved on to 28. The moon's on its way to conjunct the North Node in Gemini. But when it was conjunct Venus, this happened in your 9th house of spiritual integration. Oh, don't be nervous. So the portal opened up like a spiritual energy for you. That's what this portal opened up for you. That's kind of how it started. It's interesting here too, the conjunction that, you know, the moon is about to make with the North Node is significant because it's actually happening in your 10th house of career. So I think that there's got to be inspiration that's coming to you by way of like like you're getting ideas, like you're getting new ideas about where to go next and how to start basically showing up in the world. And it's an activation because it's the North Node, and when the North Node transits a house, it opens up opportunities. And it also asks you to move outside of your comfort zone. The North Node asks you to move outside of your comfort zone. Mercury, recently, he's conjuncting your sun, but he's recently conjuncted he's about to conjunct the sun and your Venus. And you were born with Sun Venus too. That's like good luck. That's like the angels are around you. That's like protection. So Mercury, who just went direct this last weekend on Sunday, is now starting to move forward, and he's going to conjunct your Sun and your Venus in Cancer. So that's like in terms of your own ability to dive like deep into the emotions with the sun in Cancer, and to also love so deeply with Venus in Cancer, and the fact that, you know, all of these things are Cancer energy, which is ruled by the moon, and we're about to have a new moon in Cancer. I mean, this is a lot of emotions coming up for you, and they're all in your 10th house of career. Like you're really focusing on career right now. You're really focusing on the future of you and how you show up in the world. The new moon is going to happen in your 11th house of sharing your gifts with the world. So what I would recommend is, and it's going to happen, it's in Cancer, of course, I've been talking about that, but so it's an emotional, intense emotional energy, because the last degrees of Cancer are the degrees that make us really emotional. So for everybody that's listening, if you are feeling really emotional these next few days, 26, 27, 28, 29, or more like 27, 28, and 29 degrees of Cancer, really emotional, heavy emotional energy. And that's what's going to be coming up for you with this new moon. So the intentions that you want to set with this new moon is to ask yourself what it is because you're thinking a lot about the 10th house of career and showing up in the world, but how are you going to do that? That's what this new moon, like setting intentions for this new moon, has to be about. How do you want to do that? How do you want to do that? It's interesting to point this out here in your 7th house. You've got all of this Aries stuff happening. So Chiron conjuncted Mars in your 7th house in Aries. You also have Neptune transiting your 7th house. That's a little bit of like illusions in terms of like relationships out there. It's like you'll think one thing about it, but it really is something else. You're not really seeing clearly. But this is deep healing in terms of your relationships. Intense healing in the realm of relationships for you, because it's in your 7th house. And I think those are like those are the big themes. Right now, Uranus is exactly conjunct your south node in Taurus. Feeling brave. Yeah, exactly. Uranus is exactly conjunct the south node. So what Uranus is going to do is actually going to bring up stuff from your past that has to do with things that used to make you feel comfortable, things that used to be like your comfort zone. He's going to like rattle it up. He's like rattling up your comfort zone because he wants you to go towards, the north node. And you were born, right, with Uranus conjunct your north node. And Uranus doesn't move very fast, but he is exactly 10 and 10 degrees. That's pretty exact. It's an exact conjunction. Other than the minutes are slightly different. But I think he's rattling your world because he's asking you to move towards, he's telling you to go live life to the fullest. He's saying stop holding yourself back. Go live life to the fullest. That's what he's saying. I think I'm going to leave it at that. And thank you. It's heavy, but it's actually exciting. It's exciting stuff. 9th, 10th, and 11th house, this is where all this stuff is kind of going on for you. And the 7th, this is all the upper houses where like you and your relationship to the outside world. It's no longer about just you. It's like you and the world coming out of the shell. I do too, Chris. So thank you, Wendy. You're welcome. So we got Jessica next. You guys, I want to go back to the beach. I want to go back to the beach. I'm going to go. Dawn finally gets home tonight. Oh my God. Thank the Lord Almighty. He's been gone for like 3 weeks or something. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it feels like 3 weeks. And thank you to you guys that have been making orders from the Etsy shop, ordering your little zodiac necklaces. I'm wearing mine. I'm wearing my my moon goddess necklace and my zodiac necklace, and I don't ever take them off. I don't. This is like my protection. This is my feminine power, my goddess power right here. I'm going to wear it every time, we have a moon goddess training session. I just love that you guys are ordering. I made 2 of them today. And it was really fun to make them. I love it because like when it gets finished, it's just like, oh my God, it just feels so good. Oh, you're welcome. I love that, Rebecca. Nice. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And there's a sale also, not on this stuff, not on these 2 necklaces, but there's a sale for the other, all the other necklaces I have. I have some really awesome tantric malas that are beautiful for meditating, but for like balancing your energy and making you feel really good. I actually want to make some more tantric malas myself with some, I'm wanting to make like maybe even an all clear quartz tantric mala, like clear quartz and gold. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Or making one that's like all gold, gold filled beads to be exact, but like it's like just gold, and like making like a sort of like a miniature one, like a not a mini mala, but like a smaller version where it's more feminine. I mean, I don't know. Those ideas are coming to me literally right now as I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh my God, a tantric mala that's all rose quartz. Whoa, that would be so freaking beautiful. Wendy was amazing. She was amazing. She did readings for us last weekend and it was amazing. Okay, so Jess, transit reading, please. Anything I should know right now? Okay, let's pull your chart. Oops. Thank you, whoever just paid. 1979. 9:42 a.m. I'm so excited about the podcast. I'm so excited. You guys go check out my new podcast. I can't wait till it's on iTunes. Can you tell everything I own is pink? My iPad holder, my water bottle, my background picture. Everything is pink. Okay, September 10th, 1979, 9:42 a.m., Mankato, Minnesota. And then you want a transit reading, so let's add those guys. Okay. Alrighty. Awesome, KB. Nice, Abby. Yeah, for now you can listen to it on Anchor, Anchor in the Anchor app. It's just like a podcasting app. But soon it'll be available on iTunes. Like, I just want to be on iTunes. That's all. That's all I want. But Anchor distributes it everywhere. So this is very exciting. Okay, Jess, here we go. This is your chart, and these are the transits. So the activation of the moon and Venus happened in your 8th house. So I think they activated for you a very a portal of change and transformation. And now as the moon gets closer to the north node, it's happening in your 8th house. So this is like a spiritual activation for you. This is something that is awakening in you a new desire to connect spiritually in your life. And the moon is the emotions, and the north node is the moving out of your comfort zone. But in Gemini, this is about like communicating or at least finding the answers and being in the real world. So seeing the reality of spirituality in your life, like what's real, not fake spirituality, but what's real, spiritually real to you right now. What feels like a deep spiritual connection for you. The Mars and Chiron conjunction happened in your sixth house of work and being in the present moment. So I think you have to be feeling a very powerful drive to take action in your life towards getting things done. And it has to do with the work that you do, not necessarily with your job, but what you're putting your energy into on a daily basis, because the sixth house is about schedule, your daily schedule. You're very motivated to initiate things, to get projects started, and to work on your health. You might actually be feeling inspired to work out, and if you do, go for it. Like, go and work out. Like, get your body into shape, or back into shape, or into more shape, all of that stuff. Let's see what else is happening here. Uranus is conjuncting your moon and Chiron conjunction in Taurus. So he's like coming into the picture and saying, what if we, because your journey of healing in this lifetime with Chiron and Taurus is about finding what it is that you value. Awesome. What it is that you value, learning about, especially in terms of relationships, is what do you value in terms of relationships, and your relationships show you, they give you examples of, whether you're kind of on the right track or on the wrong track in terms of healing. But Uranus is creating, I think, a desire. He's transiting your seventh house, which means that like there's a desire for freedom and independence from commitment and relationship. Like right now, you're really wanting to be independent, and you're coming up. I mean, in 7 degrees, Uranus moves slow, but when it gets to 17 degrees, you'll experience your Uranus opposition. You got Uranus there, and then on the other side you got Uranus over here. So soon you're going to be moving into that phase of your life, which means a lot of it's a Kundalini activation. It's a spiritual awakening that says, hey, are you living life to the fullest? Are you listening to your soul? Are you learning things? Are you like, wake up? If you're not awake, like, wake up, like, snap out of it and wake up. But if you are awake, it just creates a more intense progression into that energy, like a deeper dive into, at least you go through the changes and the shifts with more awareness in your life. And that's what's kind of happening for you. I think there's a lot of crazy things probably happening at home, things that are that maybe don't feel comfortable. There's a lot of endings. Changing, the structures of your home are changing, how you run things. And the South Node is transiting your third house, so you're learning how to communicate better in your life. And I think that's all I want to say. So thank you. Awesome. Yeah, I know. So KB, you're next. So there's room for one more if you want to get on the list. If somebody wants to get on the list, there's room for one more tonight. Transit. Okay. All right. I was gonna say, Melanie. Yeah, just go with the time that feels right for you, and we won't focus on the rising sign. We can focus on other planets and stuff. You know, there's still a lot of information that you can get from a chart without knowing the time, but you just can't really get your rising sign, and you can't really get like the placement of the houses. But the planet, I basically did, the two readings that I did in the beginning with Shannon's two astrology readings. I did those without you really looking at the time. I was looking at the planets mostly, and you can get a lot from that. So, okay. So let's check it out. Hmm. Okay, so there's a lot happening in your third house. And that's interesting because you also have Chiron. I mean, look at all this Gemini. Look at that. Chiron, Sun, Mercury, Mars. It's not in Gemini, but it's right there next to everybody. Um, and then the Venus, Moon, and the North Node transiting your third house. So it's actually it's hitting all of these themes in your life. It's hitting your healing. It's hitting the way that you express yourself, your soul. It's hitting the way that you think and your ability to communicate. It's also hitting the your how you take action in your life. The North Node transiting your third house is learning a new way to communicate. The Venus, conjuncting the moon in your third house is a basically a portal opening for you to find the best way to express yourself and to communicate by understanding your emotions and communicating from that place in your relationships. It's asking you to see the beauty around you. And when the moon conjuncts the North Node in Gemini, in basically today into tomorrow, I mean, the moon moves really fast. It's going to catch up to 28 degrees really fast in the next maybe couple hours or something. But when it conjuncts the North Node, this is like exactly aspecting, conjuncting your natal Mercury, who is actually at 27 degrees, and your Sun too. New thoughts, new ideas, new things that that you come up with in your mind, new, like a whole new perspective. That's the word I'm trying to use. Like a whole new perspective on your life is happening right now. Third house, like this is also, if you want to get detailed with astrology, this is like the house of, transportation and cars and technology and things like that. So all those areas of your life, they're going through some kind of a shift. The Mars and Aries conjunction is happening in your first house. So you're also going through a very deep, intense transformation within yourself. You're seeing parts of yourself that you still have to heal. You're having to face the fear that maybe you're not like perfect or whatever. We all think we're like amazing. This happened to me the other day, and it was the inspiration for the episode 1 of the podcast is what does it mean to face your fears? And this is what you're feeling right now, but the fears that you're facing is regarding your own self, because you've got the moon also in Aries right there. And it's hitting you hard emotionally. It's like, whoa, the ego wounds, right? The things that you're like, oh, I didn't want to accept that was a part of me, but it is. And now I have to heal it because I saw it, Yeah, that is what's happening. And let's see what else. There's also a lot of, there's a lot of career changes, and you're starting to realize that maybe what you have focused on your whole life isn't exactly what you wanted to focus on. It's not really the way that you want to show up in the world. So you're having to let go of old ways of doing things, especially in terms of career, and starting to find inspiration somewhere else. Just changing it up, breaking it down so that you can actually find what you truly love. Awesome. Yeah. So that's what I see. I'm glad it resonates. And I think Melanie signed up for another reading. Wow. That's the third person today, you guys, that signed up for 2 readings. Isn't that wild? I think that's wild. So this is the last reading. So now the list is closed, and thank you everyone so much for signing up. Make sure you watch the replay of the video if you missed the beginning part. So I'm going to need the information. Yeah, you're welcome. For that you want me to use, Melanie, for your chart. Thanks. All right, here we go. October 4th, 1962. And we're gonna put 3:30 p.m. and Birmingham. What is that word? Disables? Oh, okay. Let me do something real quick. All right. All right, let me see what's going on over here. Yeah, I know, KB. I was thinking about that when I was reading that. I was like, yeah, she's like feeling like she's done. Disabled? Okay. So here we go. This is the chart for 3:30 p.m. On your birthday. So you have the sun in Libra at 11 degrees. You have the moon in Sagittarius. You have Venus in Scorpio. And I don't think those things will change. The moon may change. Hang on. Let me look something. All right, so let's go back to midnight and let's watch the moon go through the whole day. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Nope. You have moon in Sagittarius. Cool. All right. Moon in Sagittarius. Moon in Sagittarius it is. You got North Node Leo, South Node Aquarius. You got Saturn in Aquarius. Got Jupiter conjunct Chiron in Pisces. And then you've got Pluto conjunct Uranus in Virgo and Neptune in Scorpio as well. So the moon in Libra, right, is like this is your needing to be balanced in your life. But your moon in Sagittarius is you desiring to explore and go discover the world. It's also where you feel like you always want to express kind of the truth always wants to come through you. And so you might express yourself in ways that people might think is a little bit harsh or like too honest or something like that. And that's what happens with Sagittarius energy. It's like Sagittarius will just say what they feel and say what they think, and they don't see anything. They're in their truth all the time, so they don't notice, like they don't really like care about like the social rules of whether I'm being polite or not. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a gift that Sagittarius energy has, to be able to really speak their mind. It's most people are afraid to because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but you speak the truth for sure. With Venus in Scorpio, you might be someone who in relationship can feel a little bit jealous sometimes. You can be a little bit possessive in relationships. You can be secretive. You don't always reveal all of you to the other people. There's something that you like to kind of hide a little bit. Neptune, that's how you love. And the way that you love is by a very deep, powerful, intuitive connection with someone is what's going to give you the most stimulation in life. With Neptune in Scorpio, that's like it's vivid, dark, dramatic dreams in your life. You also have Mercury in Libra, so you try to find, and it's retrograde. You were born with Mercury retrograde in Libra, but you try to find things that are like, you want the world to be fair. You want things to be fair. And in your mind, it's very important to you that there's justice and fairness and things like that in the world. And you express that through your thoughts, through how you communicate with the world. With Pluto conjunct Uranus, this is basically, it's like revolution. It's revolutionary energy. You were born during a time where there was probably a lot of changes. Yeah, so during the 60s. So this was the generation of like, you know, the kids of the people that started like the self, you know, the spiritual revolution. That's the energy that you come into the world with. And you also have Mars in Cancer, which is the way when you said I care, that's your Mars in Cancer. Like you love to nurture people. You're a nurturer for sure. You love to nurture people. You love to do things for people. You're emotional in some ways, and it's important that you feel useful in life. And with the North Node in Leo, your purpose, this is the opposition of the nodes, your purpose in this life is to find your strength, to also find your passion, to shine bright, to learn to be the center of attention, to go out of your comfort zone, to be an individual. And what you're moving away from is like this very restrictive energy with Saturn here in Aquarius and South Node in Aquarius. You're moving away from feeling like you have been persecuted and you have been, you've been just one of the fish in the sea of people, and you feel like lost. You don't, you like to feel unique, but there's a part of you that desires to feel unique, but there's a massive restriction here to your uniqueness. So you're wanting to move away from all of that restriction, that you feel that you're coming from. And so what you need to move towards is Leo. And Leo he likes to have fun. So your job is to learn to let go of like the stubbornness, because you have a stubborn mind, sometimes, but let go of that energy and let yourself enjoy life a little bit more, have fun a little bit more, play a little bit more. That is your purpose. And then the last thing is the Jupiter in Pisces and Chiron in Pisces conjunct. So Jupiter in Pisces is it's a really beautiful energy for Jupiter to be in, because he expands everything, and so this is huge compassion. It's a lot of compassion, but this is Chiron in Pisces too, which is a deep dive into learning how to love yourself, learning how to love the world, learning how to understand through your intuitive side that, basically it's your learning to define your relationship with God. Your lesson, your biggest healing wound, your core wound is your relationship with God. So you have to heal that relationship. And Jupiter is expanding that energy. Let me check something else out. You also have this opposition here between Chiron and Jupiter, and then Pluto and Uranus. They're like fighting. They're fighting against each other. You feel a pull from, needing to be, unique and different and express yourself. I mean, imagine the spirituality that came out of the 60s with this Pluto and Uranus conjunction was a spirituality that was different. It was not like religious in a sense. It was like the yogis and, the Eastern philosophies and all of that. So this is a part of you that wants to be expressed. You want to be different. And this part of you needs to heal. But the healing needs to happen with, with your relationship with the divine or God or whatever, however you refer to it in your life. You have to heal that relationship, but it's you. This is not about anybody else. There's a really good book that I'm reading right now, and I would recommend everybody reads. It's called Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Just get it and listen to it on Audible. She was her story. I mean, I think it'll definitely maybe trigger you a little bit, Melanie, but it'll also show you the other side. And you know what I mean. The other side of religion, the other side of, she used to be a Christian, but she used to identify with the Christian church and there's some delegation, I don't know exactly, but her story is like she discovered herself. She found her true relationship with God, and it had nothing to do with religion. And I'm only saying that because that's what I see in your chart. I think that's plenty. That's plenty. Thank you. I'm really happy that you finally got to look at your chart. And we don't know exactly what your rising sign is, but with this time, it says you're an Aquarius rising. So you just have to ask yourself, does that feel right? You're welcome, Melanie. Get it. Get the book. She's made me cry. She's made me laugh. She's made me feel really good about myself. She's made me question my own belief systems. She's like, whoa. I really, really appreciate her freaking honesty and vulnerability and putting herself out there and like expressing her belief systems and just like sharing her lessons with the world. That's actually she's actually a big inspiration for me. This book is an inspiration for me for my podcast because I want to share my experiences with the world in a way that is different and it's very raw. So when on my podcast, you guys are gonna get to see a side of me that you don't usually get to see here on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. So now there's all these different places where you get to experience the world through my eyes. It's like the podcast is basically like if I was gonna write a book, it would be the podcast. It would be like an audible. They would be like chapters of a book. So that's what's so cool about it. Because that first episode that I did, I typed it up, like I wrote it up, like it's like if I was as if I was writing a book. It was what was coming through, and it was a script that I basically created that I wrote myself. It's really cool. I'm just like, oh my God, so many amazing things are happening, and it's perfect timing because for me that Venus Sun conjunction happened at exactly 13 degrees to my Sun, and now that the Moon conjunction is happening at exactly 13 of my Sun too. So the Sun and the Moon and Venus are all like boom. And I was born with Venus conjunct Sun and Venus. I think the next episode, I might talk about my astrology chart. That just came to me. I was like, maybe I can talk about like my astrology and like how I see myself. That would be really freaking cool, actually. God, I'm such a Leo. All I want to do is talk about myself. So make sure you guys download my new podcast, Channel for Grace Uncut podcast on Anchor. Soon available on iTunes. I'll let you guys know when that happens. But for now, you can go listen to episode 1 on Anchor. It's basically out in the world already. Thank you, everyone, so freaking much for being here. She also wrote Normal People, and that was made into a TV show that was both sexual and nice. I love that. I love that. Thank you, everyone. I will see you. Okay, so here's the dealio. What's today? Friday? So tomorrow night, I'm going to go live, and we're going to talk about the Cancer New Moon Astrology. And then on Sunday, we got the Moon Goddess training. So I don't want to have to do anything else other than that. Because the energy of the whole day, I just like really attuned to everything and everybody in the group. Oh God, I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. And on Monday, we'll come back live here on YouTube and do the double new moon in Cancer ceremony. So astrology tomorrow, ceremony on Monday, Moon Goddess training on Sunday. I really hope to see you guys there at the Moon Goddess. If you haven't signed up, please sign up. I'm going to be sending a couple of emails tomorrow and then on Sunday just to make sure you guys have all the information that you need. If you're already in the Moon Goddess training Facebook group, I'm going to be posting the Zoom link into the group before we go live. So you won't get emails, but what you'll get is the Zoom link in the Facebook group. So make sure that you put it on your schedule. Sunday at 1 p.m. if you're joining us for this round, which is something that you get to do if you sign up for the Moon Goddess training, you enter the community. So you can join us for all the future Moon Goddess trainings at no cost. But if you're going to join me on Sunday, put it on your calendars. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. And you can come and hang out with us, and it'll be really sweet. And we'll get to meet more of each other, because one of the coolest things that happens in these trainings, in the Moon Goddess training, is that all the awesome people that follow me, they get to actually see each other and connect with each other. And I just can't wait. So thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow night right here for the New Moon Astrology. Ciao.